Coming up on this week's DIZPod, what's going on? I'm mad at the Hatbox Ghost. I'll talk about that. And more importantly, I need this time. What's our most relaxing day that we can create on a Disney day? That's all coming up next on the That music still rocks, I think. I think it still rocks.
I like it.
I'm a creature of habit. So I'll tell you, whenever I ever, first of all, welcome to this week's DIZPod, everyone, whether you're listening live or you're listening on the rewatch, whether it's on the YouTube channel or the YouTube Music app where you can listen or watch. You can do both too. You don't have to commit to one. You can go back and forth. I've done that in the park, not in the park, in the car, where I'm listening to something and then I'm like, let me flip it over just for a second. So you can do that. Those are some options. And Lawrence and I think we're going to switch this bad boy over back to Apple Music, Spotify, iHeartRadio. But anybody that's found us here, I think Lawrence would agree, right? We want them to support this first. Agreed. Is that your thought? Like, we want our base to be here and still grow here, but if we just put it out to Spotify and those other outlets, let's just see who else discovers us over there.
Right. If you think about it, YouTube is where we are interactive. We are live on YouTube. Those other platforms will be the rewatch or the replay, because you can't watch on most of those. So I would say stick right here with us if you found us here. This is where we are live and interactive way more than we could be on the other platforms, but we do want people also that listen to Disney podcast on those platforms to find us as well. So right here is probably your best bet.
Yeah, that's well said, because the whole history of the DIZPod was it didn't start on YouTube. It started on those other platforms. And then after, was it 16 episodes?
16, yeah.
I decided to bring this show over to YouTube and kind of ditch the other ones because I didn't see a ton of benefit in the way of, you need to have patience. It wasn't getting as many listens as I knew we could get here. And let me tell you, they rake you through the coals as far as any kind of revenue over there. It's bad. So we won't even have to really care about that for a long time, but we'll take what we get here and we'll just put it over there. And hopefully some people, I look at it as a game, my friend. Let's look at it and just see how we can grow that sucker too. Let's do that.
That's right.
And I mean, we can go right in, right? With 25, 26 episodes, boom.
Yes. That's one of the good things is you've got a whole backlog of material. So we can open up and do 3 episodes on those platforms right away.
Do you think it's better to trickle them out or dump them all?
I think I would say we'll probably release like 3 every week until we can catch up.
That sounds great. And it still has a base because there's 16 episodes sitting there. So that's even more than 26, 27, whatever we put there. So, okay, that's awesome. See that, y'all? We just planned that with all
right here on the show.
Yeah, we don't mind. We're transparent like that. Transparency gets me in a lot of trouble. So I think the temperatures are wrapping up here in good old Florida. I'm guessing. I haven't looked ahead for temperatures coming up, particularly upcoming 2 days from now when we are over at Festival of the Holidays. It hasn't been that unbearable. I was out there. We'll talk about it later on Inside the Parks, but it wasn't as bad as I anticipated last night. I think I had a little bit of fear about how cold I could be, and it never really came through. And who knows, maybe it was park adrenaline, but I was pretty hyped up last night. So that probably helped keep me warm too. We're good to go. We are back to summer on Saturdays. We're looking at 6 o'clock in the afternoon or an evening, 68 degrees. No, that's the AM. Hold on. We go to like noon, you're looking at 79, 6 p.m., 77, beautiful, partly cloudy skies. And like by the time we end the stream, it'll be 72. So we're good to go. We're back to some shorts and all that stuff. Speaking about shorts, I mean, when you're talking about living in Diz, we're trying to really feed the content now. We're going to load in as many shorts as we can, you know, coupled with what you should do. You shouldn't overload too much, but we're going to do that. We're working on vlogs to come through. So, yeah, we're excited about that. We want to get more content on this channel flowing for all of our dieharders. Listen, a lot of the stuff you've seen live because you're so dedicated to us and we love that, but you might want to rewatch it or even just put it on and walk away. I don't care. But the idea of the vlogs is for you all to enjoy a condensed version of the live streams, condensed version of shopping, whatever we think is good in the live streams. I want to pull them out, make it into a vlog, and yeah, try to grow the channel that way. We may pull in another audience by doing that. So that's the idea behind all of that as well. And let's see, let's address the elephant in the room at the moment, which is Lawrence and Corey are matchy-matchy. So this is something, I think your mic went out. So this is something that was not planned. So maybe we need to discover this. Discuss this. But the thing is, he and I came on together about 15 minutes beforehand. We're talking, you know, what we're going to talk about and going over some particulars last minute like we always do. He probably just didn't even look at me for the entire 15 minutes.
No.
He was focused. He was so laser focused. He didn't look at me. And he says, hey, my Kermit shirt came in. I think I'll wear my Kermit shirt tonight. He grabs the Haunted Mansion shirt, sits down, looks at me when we're about to go live and goes, whoa. And I went, whoa. We laughed and I was like, we got to go with this. We just got to go with it now. So
can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, good. So yeah, so folks, I was focused on some material as I was adding in for the show. Didn't really look at the shirt that Corey was wearing. I went to grab my Kermit shirt and then I was like, no, wait, what a good show to put on a Haunted Mansion shirt. And I sit down and I'm like, hey, he went and put on his Haunted Mansion shirt. He had already had it on. I just didn't even pay attention.
I'm like, we got to go with this. We have to go with this. It's a good story. And the other thing about it is my reasoning for wearing it is the little bit of a different angle for why you're wearing it. So everybody knows that Hatbox Ghost debuted this morning. Listen, I'm not happy about that. I have been looking for this guy for quite a while now. I know I'm not the only one, but I've been looking for this guy. And to be one of the final people in Magic Kingdom to ride Haunted Mansion before he appeared, literally appeared at like 8 o'clock this morning. I got off that ride last night. Park closed at 10. I got off at like 9:58. Yeah. So Hatbox Ghost, it's going to take a lot to restrain myself and not jump out of that dune buggy and go after you. So you wore it to celebrate the fact that he's here.
I did. A little different from you.
Yeah, we both had different motives there. So,
and I have not worn mine yet. You've worn yours. The difference, I don't know if you can see that, but I have a pocket. She didn't do a pocket for you.
Oh, check it out. So wardrobe is so good. I actually thought she's either going to be flattered or offended. I thought I bought this at Disney.
No.
Catherine, I salute you. Look at that. Disney quality right there. But anyway, this is our shirt, and I've worn it before, like Lawrence said. We're celebrating Hatbox Ghost, even if I'm a little angry at him. But this is the ride. This takes you through the ride, through the graveyard, by Constance up in the attic. Like, it takes you through the ride. It's the whole process. And I've said they need to make more rides like that. And I'm happy to report that in chat, Catherine is flattered with capital letters. So that's great. Instead of a mug. Look at this. You didn't even go with a mug either.
Nope.
I went with my 15, I keep saying 15, my $17 purchase at Magic Kingdom. Was it Magic? Where did I buy this? I don't think it was Magic. Hollywood. I bought this at Hollywood towards the end of the live stream the other night, because these come out at $50 every time. No fluctuation. They're always $50. And I love them because of the feel. You can literally get a hand massage with this. It feels nice on your hand. You can dig in as hard as you want. And the other thing is, they're $50. So they've been going down in price for a little bit, and then all of a sudden, they were $20. And I was like, probably need to get that. But I know I don't need a cup. Tammy was in chat, just like she is now. She's like, you don't need another cup. And my mom was home saying, if you don't buy that, I'm going to be angry at you. That's too good of a deal. So I ended up getting it, and I hadn't used it yet until tonight. I'm like, let me use this tonight. Get a little iced coffee in there. Why am I drinking iced coffee at 6:51? I need to stay awake for these football games. Since the time change, I can't stay awake for the fourth quarter. I hate missing football. Yes, and like Tammy said, I said it was a purchase for the family. So to defend myself, I came home and I made sure Jacob and Jillian knew that Dad purchased a new cup for anyone to use.
Oh, okay.
Maybe that's how I purchase mugs now. This is for anyone to use. Yes.
I'm not listening. I'm not listening.
No. Blah, 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 blah. It's always a great time for iced coffee. Yes, it is, Disney Dina. So temperatures are coming back to us, which is great. We talked about Hatbox Ghost.
We'll be there on Monday night, Tuesday and Wednesday. So I'm looking forward to some good temperatures. This morning it was 21 here, so hoping it's not anywhere near that.
Are you hitting Magic Kingdom at all in that trip?
Yeah, so we're gonna do Magic Kingdom Wednesday, and then I'll probably head over like 3, 4, something like that to Hollywood.
So you're gonna see Hatbox Ghost before me.
Oh, how about that?
How about that? So
yeah, we'll have to do that because Finley loves Haunted Mansion now. So
that's awesome. Yeah, looking at the schedule, it just doesn't allow me to be in MK until 2 weeks from yesterday, because we're at Jollywood next Wednesday. We're at Jollywood, so puts me at MK the following week. So that'll be something.
What's that following Saturday after Jollywood?
Oh, there's a reason for. I think it's just a standard Hollywood Studios day.
Okay.
I think it's been a little while since the family's been to Hollywood, so I always like to get that in because I know how much Jacob and Tammy love Hollywood. So
yeah,
that'll be a fun day. Typical day there for that one. But we'll get to. Actually, I don't think Tammy's seen Christmas Hollywood Studios yet. So.
Oh, good.
We'll kind of repeat a little bit of what we did when I first visited last week. We'll go to Sunset Boulevard, watch the Snope, and watch all the different shows on Tower of Terror, and just look at the decorations. And it's always nice to go around the lake over there and listen to the classic classic Christmas music and all that. That's good stuff. Really enjoy that. So we'll get all that in.
That's my favorite Christmas or park Christmas decorations is Hollywood. Plus, like you said, the music goes right along with that. Puts me back at being a kid in the 80s and being at grandma's house for Christmas.
That's nice. That's really nice. So bonus material. Lawrence and I had discussed this, and I think it's a great idea. It's another way to say thank you to our LID Club members. And we'll also get it over to our Patreons. I'm going to guess maybe starting next week. because the idea just came up too fast with us this week. But we're going to do some bonus material, bonus podcasting. I've been wanting to do this. And the easiest way to fit this in for now is we're going to really try to stick to a tighter podcast here, closer to an hour. And anybody that's an LID Club member or Patreon will get to see bonus material. So an extra podcast. So when we're done here, we'll ask anybody that wants to watch, jump over, and there'll be a whole new link and stream for LID Club members. I'll have to decide what level that goes to, whether it's all members or Magical Express and up. Probably Magical Express and up, maybe to start. So that's coming. That'll come next week. And for Patreons, we can't do that part live. We'll do the bonus live for the LID Club members, but we'll immediately ship over the recording to Patreon for anyone to watch over there who's a Patreon and not an LID Club member. One thing I'll say about LID Club and Patreon, because this has come up a couple of times now. So sometimes people ask me, what is the best way to, I want to donate, I want to give to the channel. The best way to do it, the way we have it set up, and I got to look at this to clarify, but as it stood a while back, Patreon gives more to the creator from money donated than YouTube does. I know YouTube takes 30% of super chats and memberships. So the best thing to do when people say, I want to give, what's the best way? The best way, in my opinion, if you want to get your name in green and the badge and the emojis, just join the LID Club at $1.99 and then jump over to Patreon. And then that's where you can do your different levels. You can do your $4.99, your $9.99, your $20.99, $19.99 or more, because I didn't know this, but certain members have added more. You can actually customize how much you want to donate to Patreon. I didn't even know that.
Oh,
so yeah. Spencer says there are streamers offering live streams exclusively for paid members. Apparently it's paying off. Cool. Yeah, we'll test it out and we'll see. So anyone that's been on the fence, or you're like, yeah, I don't want to miss that, definitely go over. And for at least for now, we'll commit to at the lower level of even the $4.99, which is a lot of you get gifted, so you'll get to see it, you know, and then maybe you'll want to stay after that. So, yeah, that's it about that. I think that's pretty good. So we have another great podcast. We're going to talk about, we're really going to brush over quickly of Festival of the Holidays, because I haven't been there yet, but we are going in 2 days. So we'll touch on that, and then I'll bring back my review on it on the next DIZPod, and so will you, apparently, right? Because you'll be there too.
Yes. Yeah. I'll get to, so you're going Saturday. I'll get to do that. We'll be in Epcot all day Tuesday. So I'll get to, well, I won't say it. We'll talk about, we'll show it and we'll talk about it.
That sounds good. That sounds good. And the main topic of this podcast is, how would Lawrence and I create our most perfect day in Disney World, in Walt Disney World? So we did not speak about this, which we love. We love surprise aspects of every podcast when we can do it, right? So I have no idea what he's going to talk about. I know what I'm going to talk about. One thing I didn't have a chance to do is, I'm going to talk about one that's going to be very expensive to do. You know what? Let's do this. I'll challenge you on the podcast. So you'll do yours, I'll do mine, or I'll do mine, you do yours. And then let's come up with one together of how cheaply you could do the most relaxing day. How about that?
Okay. All right.
Okay. Sounds good.
I like it.
Before, I never go in this direction, and my brother is very spiritual and things like that, and he always sends me, like, you know, peace scriptures and things like that. So not going there with, you know, religion and stuff like that. We try to keep all that out of our realm here in this community. But this is just more of something about the word forgiveness. And I know we just came off Thanksgiving, but I read it and I read it again, and I'm like, if people really know what forgiveness means, we might find it easier to just forgive people. So I'm just saying this all to everyone listening, where if you've ever struggled with forgiving somebody, maybe this makes you feel better and cleanse your heart and your mind and your brain. And I'll try my best to read this. So forgiveness means that you are not going to be bound by the betrayal of someone. It means when you think about the person, you don't lose your appetite, you don't get depressed, your blood pressure doesn't raise, or you lose your appetite, or overeat, or go into PTSD. This doesn't mean they should go unpunished. It just means you're not going to be bound by what they did to you. Forgiveness is not a feeling, it's a choice. Unforgiveness is one of the main reasons prayers go unanswered. So I thought that was just an important piece. And I'm like, I'm going to pass that on to everybody that listens to the DIZPod, because I'm pretty sure we all have people in our lives that we have had a hard time forgiving. And that just might release some stress and all that. So that's my good piece of duty for the day, to go off track for a little bit there. So hopefully I maybe will help somebody.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Because the important piece in that too is like, you can forgive them, but they can still be punished too. So, you can feel good and release them. I feel like you saying I forgive you is I'm releasing you of this from me, from my state of mind. I'm going to release this, and you can go on your merry way, and good luck to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, big week coming up. Next week we'll have Luminous on Tuesday. We have the Festival of Holidays on Saturday. We have Luminous on Tuesday, Jollywood on Wednesday. So I'm looking forward to it. And Corey and I have been talking about the podcast coming up the next couple months, and we've got some really, really cool stuff that we are planning. We're talking about a season finale for the show. So and then the season opener will be right behind it. So don't worry, we're not going anywhere. Listen,
you and I, you do such a good job, such a great job. Lawrence does an outstanding job with the DIZPod. This started out as all me, and it might be a 60-40, and that's Lawrence on the 60. Okay. And that's probably being stingy. But I think you have access to it too now. I'm not sure. We have a master list. So I like to ask, he's real creative. So I'll say, what do you think we should talk about this week? Sometimes he asks me too, but he usually has something. The day you don't have something, I'll be like, let me say, I have a list of like 50 things, 50 great things. So, and I think you might have that master list now, access to the folder.
I do. You know what's funny? Somebody the other day, might have been yesterday, I was on Facebook and I was talking about the podcast, and she was like, don't you guys run out of things to talk about? And I'm like, no, we have an entire list. Don't worry. I told her, I said, we have about 474 episodes to go. So don't worry. We got it loaded up.
Do we do a mic drop? Do we do a headphone drop when we do 500?
Yeah.
God, man. To be proactive, we should probably start pulling clips leading up to it, right? If we had a place where we could just store all these clips, by the time we get to 500, we'll have clips. And we can just attach them all as we go.
Yeah, we'll just start 10. We'll start episode 501, and it'll just be our empty studios.
Yes. Yes. We're done. We're done. That's going to take 10 years. I don't care.
10 years.
That's when we'll decide. I gave the channel 10 years, and then that's when we'll decide if we're going to go on with the channel. And I think you don't know what 10 years brings you, but at 10 years we'll reevaluate. And I hope I still have the desire to do it. It'll be Tammy and me, in the parks, and maybe even streaming more than we do now. That's my
Yeah.
hope. That's my hope. So
I was just trying to do the math and see if Catherine will be retired from her current job, because that would probably make a difference on where we live.
yes.
Just throwing it out there, Catherine.
That's right. You got to end there.
Yeah.
You know, that is like Return of the Jedi when Luke and Han are on the desert skiff and they're being led to the pit of Carkoon, the resting place of the old powerful Sarlacc. What does Luke say? He says, "Don't worry. I used to live here, you know." Han says, "Huh, you're going to die here, you know." So there's that. My brother's in chat. Bro, I just went back and I read your message of forgiveness today. Very powerful. So he says this is his favorite podcast for his daily commute. I am glad we're giving you episodes every single day, Monday through Friday, my friend. No, people are like, what? I will congratulate live that Maria W, who has become such a dedicated viewer of ours, is the newest Patreon, and she's at the $5 level. So when we start releasing the new podcasts, the bonus podcasts next week, she can enjoy. So hopefully others will follow in her footsteps. Anne says you'll be in the 6 digits in less than 10 years of subs. Ooh, let's bring it on. Let's bring it on. So let's get to the meat and potatoes of this whole thing. Meat and potatoes. Yeah. So we're going to hit up on the Festival of the Holidays quickly, I guess. And then we will go over to our most relaxing version of the day, a day at Disney.
Yeah, so Festival of the Holidays started. This picture is actually courtesy of Neil, who sent that in to us today. So he's already got to enjoy it. Of course, you know, with any festival at Epcot, it's certainly about food. So we're going to show quick preview because, again, Corey's going to be there on Saturday. So we'll show a quick preview of some of the food there.
Okay. Tuscany Holiday Kitchen. That looks good. Well, what is that, like breadcrumbs with some red sauce there? And I don't know what that is, if there's cheese in there or whatever. But if you're watching, this food looks really good. The Canada Pavilion. What's going on in that Canada Pavilion right there?
Yeah, that one caught my eye. Yep.
Oh, Canada.
Wine and wedge, maybe too.
Yeah, wine and wedge. Is that fish or is that chicken?
I can't tell.
Okay.
We have sweets and treats. Mexico, of course, with a churro. Finley wants to try the Wish, or I guess it's Star, treat there at Port of Entry.
Mm-hmm.
L'Chaim, always a favorite. And that Holiday Hearth. Oh, that's in the Odyssey Pavilion. Okay, good. Yeah.
Okay.
I'll have to try that one.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't even had a chance to study this menu, but we'll whatever we try, we'll talk about it next week. And yeah. Oh, look at that one. There's a holiday table that has the whole turkey dinner.
Mm-hmm.
Which looks good. The Bavarian Holiday Kitchen. Oh, I don't know what that is, but it looks good enough to eat. I'm going to hit that in Germany on Saturday. Bavaria Holiday Kitchen, Germany Pavilion. It doesn't really say what it is. I mean, if we speculated, is that mac and that can't be mac and cheese under that gravy, can it?
No, I wouldn't think so.
No.
But you can find out for us on Saturday.
Yeah.
Right. So somebody's gonna have to tie Corey down to his chair because he's probably gonna leave the podcast.
I know, right? I mean, it really is
here.
And return of the Nitro Mickey Pop, just like that, everybody. Yes, yes, and yes. I am going to enjoy another one of those on Saturdays, courtesy of Shirley Renee, who said Nitro Mickey Pops on her. So I'm excited for
And I
that.
didn't pull it up, but that booth has a lot of sweets or treats that I want to try, including some of the beverages look really good too. They have alcoholic and non-alcoholic.
Okay. Man, there's just a lot of food that looks really good. I don't know what happened leading up to this. It's like just been busy, I guess. I'm usually a little more prepared in knowing what I want to go after. So
Mm.
probably study this a little bit by tomorrow night or Saturday morning, and I'll have a good idea of what to attack. And then
I
from
think it's
there we'll probably
Saturday because tomorrow you will be at a movie.
yes, plans have changed. We're going to Wish tomorrow. So I can let everybody know on Saturdays what we thought of Wish.
Good. I'm looking forward to seeing what you think of it.
Disney Dina says that's Schnitzel,
Oh.
Schnitzel in Germany.
Uh-huh. So real quickly, there's some merch. Here's the new design for this year. And there is the Olaf scavenger hunt. I don't know if we'll have a chance to do that Tuesday. Maybe.
Oh, well, oh. There's a little glitch in the system here. Jacob needs let me think. Let me not even make this thing sound like he has something super important to do that's like official, whatever. He has a Fortnite event that he wants to attend at home. So Tammy's gonna sit back with um with him, and then when it's time to go, then hopefully it won't be too late where Tammy can actually join us.
Uh-huh.
So it could be a scenario where I'm by myself on Saturday, or Kathy's with me, and then Tammy will join. I don't know.
Okay.
It's up in the air. But if it happens where maybe we have time,
Mm-hmm.
well, it would be fun to search for Olaf, but we'll have a little time to, well, we won't have that much time to do it. So I'd
Yeah.
like to do it. It's been a while. Sometimes I think it's hard to do these types of things on stream. I have good intentions, but
Right.
I don't know. People in chat, let me know. Does this carry through well on a live stream when we're doing a scavenger hunt and I'm trying to show areas? I know people are trying to help and give the answers in chat. We try to ask for them not to do that, but it'd be interesting to know if it really does well on stream or it doesn't.
Yeah.
Kind of 50-50 on that. But go ahead.
And then lastly, there's more of the merch. And then lastly, they added in some holiday magic shots with the PhotoPass photographers. So there's 3 of them there. And then you got the 3 Caballeros and Chip and Dale and Olaf and Sven. So pretty cool. Looking forward to this festival for sure.
I've never done a magic shot, I don't think.
Really?
Yeah.
You should.
Yeah. I know. I would need to be with you.
Nope.
Or Neil.
Nope. Do it on your
No?
own. Yeah.
Are they free?
They'll show up.
Really?
Mhm.
Is it because we're connected, it'll show
Yeah.
up for us?
It'll show
Oh,
up.
yeah. I should know better than that. Okay. I need to do a magic shot. Scavenger hunts are nice because I don't have to do them on my vacation, but you do, says Doe Whip Dave. You don't have to find every single Olaf in one stream because you go so often you can carry the map around. That is very true for
True.
future ones, Disney Dina. Thank you for that advice. Tammy would probably agree with you on that. The only thing I'd have to think about is because we're blocked out for 2 weeks, that just might be the only time we go as a family to Epcot. So that's a discussion for Tammy. We'll have to see what she thinks.
Terry says that they had dinner at Crystal Palace on Christmas Day 2021. Christmas Day 2020, I had dinner at Cosmic Rays.
Oh, momentous.
Cosmic
What
Rays.
did, what did you have that day?
Probably a burger. Probably a burger. Yeah.
Disney Dina agrees with the PhotoPass connection. Yeah.
So how about we do the sponsors?
Sponsors. Okay. We can do that.
And we'll come back and start our most relaxing day at Disney.
Sounds good. Oh, looks like we had a glitch there. They're saying no volume for that, which is weird. Looks like we had a glitch there.
That's really weird.
They're saying no volume. Yeah. Okay. Well, we can work through that. I will just do what is called in the business a cold read. And you like that? We're just gonna do a cold read right now and not get all fancy with that. Don't know why that happened. Basically, we have a couple sponsors here, and they are wonderful. Victor Naraki is a realtor, and if you're looking for a home that offers the perfect blend of luxury, comfort, and convenience with Disney World in your backyard, Victor Naraki is your guy. He is a licensed realtor with Vision Home Real Estate LLC, and he is here to help you find the home of your dreams. With over 13 years of experience in the Disney home market and a proven track record of success, Victor is the perfect partner to guide you through every step of the home buying process. So why wait? Visit DisneyAtYourDoorstep.com. That's DisneyAtYourDoorstep.com to learn more about his exclusive range of properties and schedule a viewing with Victor, because your dream home is just a click away. If you are looking to plan your next vacation, consider booking with Your Magical Adventures Await. Claudia is a Disney travel agent who can create a magical adventure to any Disney park worldwide, including Walt Disney World in Florida, Disney Cruise Lines, Alani Resort in Hawaii, and guided group vacations with Adventures by Disney. She can also plan trips to Universal Studios. The best part, if you book with her, her services are free. Disney pays her to help you create a seamless, magical adventure. Her availability is unmatched, and you can contact her Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 8 p.m., and Saturday and Sunday, 12 p.m. to 6 p.m. Make your magical planner, Claudia Anderson, today. From Your Magical Adventures Await by calling her at 956-455-8049. Or just reach out on Instagram and follow her on Instagram, because she is a great, great follow. You never know where she's going to be. That's all one word, Claudia Anderson. There we go.
All right.
So
sorry about that, folks. That was interesting. We were hearing, I know I was hearing the audio.
Yeah. Were you?
Yeah.
Yeah. You heard me and everything. That was strange.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
So yeah, this the idea of a most relaxing day, we did fastest roller coasters. We had roller coaster week on the show. And so this is kind of going to be the opposite of that. This is going to be a chill, relaxing day. I should have even played some background music, like nice chill jazz. But for mine, so as Corey mentioned, we did not speak to each other about, in detail what this was going to be. So for me, I looked at each of the 4 parks and decided how would I have a nice relaxing day at each of the parks. So I'll go first. So at Magic, I'm going to start the day by getting there around park opening. I'll grab a Starbucks drink and a muffin. watch the opening stage show, which is called Let the Magic Begin. This will allow you to beat the crowds at breakfast, because they were probably all still back at the resorts eating breakfast. I would also suggest doing this midweek or on a Sunday, which tends to be quieter. We have found that out for sure. Sundays feel like, I don't know where everybody is on a Sunday, but they're not at the parks. So I would hit a lot of the classic and the dark rides like Haunted, People Mover, maybe even Speedway. We know that is not a fast ride. Not a lot of adrenaline in Tomorrowland Speedway.
Those rides don't go fast, and those cars don't go fast enough.
No. Pirates, Jungle Cruise, Small World, Peter Pan, Winnie the Pooh. I'd probably watch Hall of Presidents, which I don't think a lot of people watch, and I think that they should. It's a great show, especially if you want to get out of the heat for a little while. It's 20 minutes, maybe even longer. But it gives a good history of the U.S. Watch Country Bears Jamboree, always fun. Might even take the Liberty Bell, take a raft over to Tom Sawyer Island. A lot of people don't do that. We've done it when it was just Catherine and I. It was nice and relaxing. Catch the parade. Make sure to catch the parade. I might even catch it after Tom Sawyer Island, right there in Frontierland, because it's back there. Grab lunch, maybe at Casey's. I'll watch the piano player. Make sure to grab the train around Magic Kingdom, take a nice tour, eat a nice dinner at a nice sit-down restaurant, and finish the night with fireworks. And then maybe I'll grab People Mover at night.
So that's true. That's good. That's Magic Kingdom, because Tammy and I were talking this over a little bit, and I was like, man, what could you do to fill a day to, feel relaxed at a place like Magic Kingdom? And I think you nailed it. It's it's what relaxes you though too.
Right.
Relaxing sometimes for a lot of people, when you hear relax, you think, oh, I got to be lying down, or I got to really cool down and chill out, and this is what I want to do, something like that. But rollerblading was relaxing for me. Like it's where your mind goes when you're doing something you enjoy, right? So yeah, that takes on a whole new meaning of relaxing. So you did a good job on that, for sure. So for me, let me turn my light on here a little bit so I can see this. I had to write some notes because I'm real detailed here. So I said this is the high-end version. So I think you hit the more affordable version already. But let's see if we could put one together. I know what we'll do. I got an idea. So for me, I would start with Tammy and I at the Grand Floridian, because we stayed the night. No kids. And we would get on the bus and we would go over to Springs. We would get a table outside at Homecoming, no G. And after enjoying a beautiful breakfast there, because let me tell you, I'll stand by it still today, that is the greatest breakfast I've ever had in my life. And really got to get back there and do that again. Catherine in chat says, no kids, I'm relaxed already. Then after that, I would take a nice long walk. Well, you can only go so long from one end of Disney Springs to the other, but take a relaxing walk along the water side. And that can lead you to the backside of Starbucks. Tammy and I can get one of our favorite Starbucks, and then we can jump on a bus and head over to Epcot, because it'll still be early, and walk the World Showcase in the morning, because I know you've done that. Epcot can be really, really chill.
Yeah.
In the morning. So walk around the World Showcase, take our time, maybe go in some of the shops where we don't tend to spend a whole lot of time there. And then we can loop around and we can hit some of the relaxing rides on the other side. We can do Soarin', we can do The Land, we can do Nemo, finish that off with some Spaceship Earth. And then I would jump on the monorail from there, and I would go over to MK, just like you did. But the only thing I'm going to do there is I'm going to have lunch at Tony's. Not that Tony's, is the best choice in Magic Kingdom or anything, but I choose it because of the atmosphere. How about sitting on the porch and just eating a nice meal, good conversation, and just watching people come and go from Magic Kingdom? I've done that. It's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
So do that for a bit, maybe spend, an hour, 90 minutes, whatever, over there. And then we would leave Magic and we'd take the walkway back to Grand Flow. But we would pass the Grand Floridian. No, you know what? That's too much walking. We'll get on the monorail, the Resort Edition.
Mm-hmm.
We'll have it take us over to the Poly, where we would relax and take a nap in the hammocks. And then, and then we would walk back over to Grand Floridian because we're staying a second night. And we would go for our couples massages right there in the resort. And then after that, we would take showers and we'd head over to Narcoossee's for dinner. Nice relaxing setting. And then we would walk over to the Poly. No, I'm sorry, we would not. We'd stay at Grand Floridian and we would sit out in front of Gasparella's in some of those deck chairs and we would watch Happily Ever After and then conclude our night like that.
I like it. In Corey's edition, he won the lottery, but I like it.
Yes. Unlocking the most expensive time at Walt Disney World.
But you're actually I bet a lot of people don't even know that there's a spa at Grand Floridian, even though that's technically the name, Grand Floridian and Spa. I bet people don't even know that.
I had a hunch that there was. I just didn't know exactly where there was. And I'll tell you that there are 3 locations that I know of at the moment. You've got, I believe there's, it would sound weird, but I believe there's 2 locations over at Grand Flow. And there's also a location over at Swan and Dolphin has one as well.
That would make sense.
Yeah.
I could see that.
Actually, there's more. Saratoga Springs apparently has one as well. So if you do a little search, you will find multiple options at Walt Disney World where you can enjoy a massage.
Nice. And so if you got dinner at Victoria and Albert's if you won the lotto.
Exactly. And I did think of that. Wow, Corey, it's great to stay out of the doghouse. And that's how I kept myself out of the doghouse on November 30th, 2023. Time of the recording of this. Because let me tell you all this. I should have said this in the opening. So I've had a brain fart in the last 2 out of 3 live streams because this is what I've been saying when I end the live stream. From Mushu and Jacob and Jillian, I'm Corey from Living in DIZ, and we'll see you in the parks.
Yeah.
I immediately get messages and texts. This time I didn't. But when I was heading out the door for work this morning, I heard this. If you forget me again in the credits at the end of the live stream, I got threatened. So I said, honey, I don't know. I have no reason. I don't know. I said, I got all shaken up because Starbucks was closed.
Right.
She's like, well, you should know better. You should have gone over there sooner. I said, well, I was heading over there, but I had to look for a shirt for you. She's like, no, not buying that. Not buying that. And I can see why she wouldn't buy it. So
yeah, as soon as I heard you say it, I was like, oh, we forgot. And I was going to text you. And then you went to the credits. I'm like, oh, I can't save them. Sorry. But yeah, it happens. It happens. See, we talk about not being scripted. See, That's the part you should be scripted on.
Yes.
Your family
Yes.
name.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, Alicia's not here tonight. I could give her another task. Alicia, post
Yeah.
this in chat for me to read.
Yeah.
I was thinking of strategies today in the morning when I was driving. I was like, okay, maybe I should start with Tammy. For Corey. No, for Tammy. Yeah, I should. Yeah. I was just trying to practice that, and I said me first. It's not about me. So
We'll get
yeah,
Nightbot. We'll get Nightbot to put it in
Nightbot
chat.
to post it. Yeah, work in progress.
Yes.
RMJ23, I agree with you. Funny thing, our RMJ23 says, in my opinion, no Disney trip is complete without buying something from the Main Street Confectionery. Well, it's funny. I came home tonight from work, and Tammy was in bed last night, of course, and she says, why didn't you buy anything from the confectionery last night? She was looking for me to bring her something specifically home. I was like, there's stuff in a container on the counter. She's like, what did you get? I was almost in trouble again. What did you get? Well, I got the wonderful Mickey cookie, Mickey shaped gingerbread cookie, which is amazing, which he only came home with one ear and a face. And I could have eaten the whole thing because I don't know, eating this the second time was a 5 out of 5 Mickey. He's like, oh, it's really good. It's really good. And I got my typical, I had to load up again on the peanut butter cookie. The peanut butter cookie deal there with the M&Ms on it. So I got 2 of those. She goes, you forget something? I'm like, what? She's like, the marshmallow peppermint treat that we got recently. And I said to her that, well, that's not available at the confectionery. It's only available at the Big Top souvenir shop in the back in Fantasyland. And I said that closes before I get there, or at least it did. So I'm going to have to check that next time I go and see if they actually are still open when I get there. It's like, those were really good, though. So surprisingly good.
Gotcha.
So
my mom said, no kids. Does that mean I get to be with Finley? Let's plan it. Yeah, Mom. March 11th through the 16th. Just so you know.
You're on. Just remember, you asked for it. It's documented. For Tammy, Jillian, Jacob, Mushu, and Corey. There you go. She posted it. I have to practice that for Tammy, Jillian, Jacob. And it's chronological. For Tammy, Jillian, Jacob, Mushu.
There you go.
Yes. So I challenge you. Maybe I'll go first. We're going to put together a day right now that can't include anything we used. How about that?
Okay.
All right. So we decide we're going to make this a little more difficult. We're staying at All-Star Movies. You, Catherine, Tammy, me, we're all set for our relaxing day at Disney World. From there, what do? We're ready. We showered. We're ready to hit the bus or transportation. Where are we going?
All right. So we're starting at All Stars. Which one?
Movies. Why would that matter? Why would that matter?
Because the energy I feel is different at music and sports, especially sports, right? I think the energy is a little bit different there. So I think movies, it's a little bit more subdued.
Okay, so it has to be movies.
Yeah, so movies. All right, so we're going to start at movies. We're going to grab breakfast down in the food court. Thank you, Catherine.
All right.
So we're going to grab food at the food court, right, before we go out. And we're probably going to start at Animal Kingdom. Do the safari.
Hold on, you're going way too fast. You're taking my fire here. You were supposed to stop at one thing.
Oh, I'm sorry. See, I'm ready to go. That's my relaxing part, is just getting it done. Okay. So mine was eating.
Yours was eating.
Okay.
Interesting that you would stay there, which is fine. Which is fine. We get a breakfast, nice buffet breakfast. No, they don't do buffet, but get a nice little breakfast. Sit down, relax, enjoy the breakfast. Talk about the day we're about to have. I was going to say, see, great minds think alike. I was going to say, head over to Animal Kingdom for an early morning safari.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'll let you go.
So we get off the safari, and this time we're going to do what a lot of people don't do is we're going to go through the trek, the um, gorilla falls, gorilla trek, right?
Yep,
We'll
Gorilla
do that.
Falls. Gorilla Falls.
You did that on stream one day, and I was like, oh, I've seen the birds, but there was like a whole other section that I'd never seen. So treat Animal Kingdom almost like a zoo and walk through it and see stuff you hadn't seen before.
Absolutely. So where we're at Animal Kingdom still, I was trying to think of something. Just because you're there, and we talked about how different relaxation can be or what it means to people. I deeply enjoy Lion King show, and I would go do that. I would go do that. And if I could just tack on one more ride, I would go to Flight of Passage and Navi River Journey, because those are very, very relaxing to me.
Yes. And it's funny. People might think, well, Flight of Passage isn't relaxing, but just that gliding, and then when you go and you land and you just kind of sitting there, which seems like forever, right? And then you take off again. Yes, I agree with you there.
I've talked about this before, and I mean it, and it gives me chills. For anyone that's never done this in chat, compared to those who have done it in chat, all right, okay, I'm saying this for all of you that haven't done it, and then for all of you that have done it, acknowledge in chat or in the comments at the end of this live stream, because we want people, as many of you, to comment when it's over, so that, we think it can help the podcast grow that way too. I say this statement for all of you. There's a moment in that ride, and you all know it, even if you've never ridden it, but you've seen me stream it, where the screen kind of rotates and there's this beautiful music with voices. And I just kind of let my hands go the best I can with the stream too, or even when I haven't ridden it, and you lean into it, and there's this music and the screen is spinning, and you just feel like you're free and you're flying and you're just one with everything on that planet. Super relaxing. So anybody that can relate to that, you can let us know. So we've done those.
You mentioned Lion King. I would head to the other show in Animal Kingdom, Finding Nemo.
Love Nemo. I wouldn't disagree with that. So you'd head to Nemo. So from there, we would probably, let me think, would we consider leaving at that point? Is there anything else that's so super chill that we'd want to stay? I would probably head out of there. See, now I'm on the spot, which was the point of this. We can't go to Magic Kingdom. We can't do that. We're not going to go to, boy, what could we do next? Ultimately, let's probably guess maybe it's 2:00 in the afternoon by that point, something like that.
Sure, yeah.
So it's probably lunchtime. Transportation is going to require a minivan or a bus, and we're staying at All Star, so we're not going back to All Star. So I would probably, Disney Springs can be kind of busy at that point. Need some dinner. Boy, I'm a little bit stumped, but I don't want to lose this game. I'll put you, okay, I'm going to put you at Disney Springs. So that would mean that we'd have to take the bus from Animal Kingdom back to All Star. No, we're just going to splurge. We're going to take that minivan. We're going to take it to Disney Springs, and we're going to have a beautiful burger because there's a great burger special at STK, and we're going to eat that up on the roof.
Never been to STK.
Me either. And the roof, I look at it all the time.
Oh,
So
I
what do
like
we
that.
do?
That's lunch. That's lunch at Disney Springs. Okay.
Yes.
Which was? Oh no, you said minivan. We're gonna hop a minivan again. We've won the lottery. So okay. So then we're gonna leave there. We're gonna go to Epcot, and we're gonna we're gonna enter Epcot, and we're just gonna stand by Spaceship Earth for a good 20 minutes and listen to the entrance music.
Oh,
Live
yes.
Yeah.
And stand in a spot underneath it where you get that beautiful breeze.
Mm-hmm.
That breeze feels so good.
Yeah.
When you're under Spaceship Earth. All right. Oh, wait a minute. Okay. So when I said the rules, I don't think we can go to Epcot because I did that.
Oh, you went to Epcot. That's right. I was thinking about me. Okay.
Yes. You have to backtrack.
All right. So, man, backtracking. We're going to take a bus from Disney Springs, and we're going to go to Animal Kingdom Lodge.
Okay.
And we're going to continue our viewing of animals. Since we did Animal Kingdom, we took a break, but we're not going to go back to Animal Kingdom. We're going to go to Animal Kingdom Lodge and watch them out on the savannah there.
What a great sidestep because we're there already. Very nice. Very nice. So, by that point, maybe we relax till about 5-ish or whatever. So it's time to think about dinner, maybe. And so where do we go for dinner? We're already there. So why don't we just go and eat at Sanaa, have some bread service, really nice meal. And that would take us maybe till about 7:30. And it's back to you. Oh, Boma. We could even do Boma. Yep, we could do Boma, whichever one. And so from there?
So from there, I would say we're going to, excuse me, go back to, we're going to take the bus to Magic, but we're not going in there.
You can't go to Magic.
We can take the bus to Magic, but we're not going to Magic. We're going to take the walkway to Contemporary, and we're going to finish tonight by watching the fireworks from the Contemporary.
Nice. Ta-da! Good job. That was fun. That was impromptu. None of that was planned. It was on the fly today on the podcast. So
love it.
Pretty cool.
Love it. Yeah, I like a nice relaxing day. A lot of what I mentioned in mine was what Catherine and I did when it was just her and I. The first time that we did an adult only trip, left Finley with mom. And it was a really relaxing day. Now we did use Genie Plus and I did the stacking method. So I had a lot of the rides ready for night, like at 4:30, from 4:30 to park close, basically, except for dinner. It was ride. So in the daytime, it was very relaxing. Watch the parade, watch the cavalcade, watch the opening show, took the Liberty Bell. So, a lot of what I realized there is you can take the park. So many people that know that I'm on the podcast and love Disney as much as I do, they're like, how could you go all the time? It's just so, I don't even want to be there once. I don't want to take my kids once. And I just feel like they're doing Disney wrong. They think that they've got to do every little thing there. And maybe it's a little different for me because I'm an annual pass holder and I know whatever I don't do this time, I'll do the next time, or I have that opportunity. But for me, it's just you got to look at the park differently. You don't have to make sure you hit all 40 rides in one day. Just take it nice and chill. Especially if you have little kids, you're gonna have to go at their pace.
Absolutely. And people there's Disney people and there's not Disney people. People just don't understand. I used to get that when we used to vacation from up north down here. They're like, "You're going again?" I'm
Again,
like,
yeah,
you just don't understand. You don't understand. You don't get it. And that's
yeah,
okay. You don't have to get it. It's not for everybody. But I also don't want people to think. I had a coworker today that said, I haven't been to Disney since, my kids were little. I go, whoa. So you're telling me that you think you need kids to go to Disney?
mm,
And she's like, oh, no, I'm not saying that. I'm like, oh, okay. Just wanted to make sure because there's plenty for adults to do too. A friend of mine gave me advice before I ever stepped foot into a theme park years ago, and it stuck with me. And she said, got some advice for you. When you go down there, be a kid. There's nothing that's too young for you.
yes,
And I feel like that was impactful because maybe I would have gone with the mindset of, yeah, I'm not going to go on Pooh. That's for kids.
right,
I honestly think I might have said that. And I just didn't get it with Disney parks either. I don't know what was wrong with me. So if I take it back a bit, growing up, I thought a lot of different things. We lived in the city. We always lived in an apartment. My mindset was only rich people own a home and only rich people go to Disney.
mm,
And then I decided I wanted a certain lifestyle. So I put myself through college to achieve these things. And I realized you don't have to be rich to do these things. But it took me a long time to get to Disney. It took me till I was like 30, 31.
hmm,
And I really wish I didn't do that. Oh, I wish I would have done it years ago. But I think I'm doing very well to make up for it
yeah, oh
now.
yeah,
But
yeah,
Tammy and I actually had a discussion 22 years ago. Where do we want to go on our honeymoon? We considered Disney, and I was like, I had never been yet. And I was like, well, that's going to be too hectic, too crazy. That you don't want to do that on your honeymoon. From what I hear,
hmm,
we'll have to come back and have a whole nother week off,
right,
So it's not something we pursued for like another, gosh, I'm going to probably have to say 7 years off the top of my head. Probably another 7 years before we went, and I was hooked the first
mm,
time. And I was a Disney kid. I saw all the movies in the movies, had Disney stuff. I watched, my mom says her earliest memories of me with Disney is watching the reruns of the black and white Mickey Mouse Club with my Mickey hat, Mouseketeer hat with the Mickey ears. I would sit with my legs crossed. There you go. I would sit with my legs crossed, and she's like, I wouldn't move from the start
yeah,
to the finish of that show. Yeah. So I was a Disney kid. I just didn't get Disney. And then when I did, I did.
yeah, yeah. And there's difference, right? So you could be a Disney kid, but not a Disney World kid. I'm glad that Finley gets to grow up and be a Disney kid and a Disney World kid. And I know your family and certainly my family, we don't take that for granted at all because we know there's we're in a special group. There's not that many people that get to do what we do.
Yes. I'll share this little thing when you talk about that. There used to be times when the kids were younger. I probably stopped doing this maybe, I think I do it in a different way now, but I used to point out a few times a year, being here in Disney and living, like we walked through, I sometimes forget about the official name of this. Is it the International Gateway when you come from Boardwalk
Yeah.
into
Yeah,
Epcot?
International Gateway.
We walked through there one day, and to my left, I'm not sure which side, it could have been the right, but we walked in and we weren't even up the walkway that wraps around yet to lead you into either the bridge leading to France or over to the UK where Mickey was there for a meet and greet, just right out in the open. And an adult got really excited. It's like, oh my God, it's Mickey, it's Mickey. And I can't remember if she had a daughter too. And I just stopped the kids in their tracks and I said, look at this. We don't just walk by Mickey. You know, we'll look and sometimes if we don't always have to meet Mickey every time, but we'll look and go, oh, look, there's Mickey. And we just keep going. But the joy in that woman's voice and her face was something I wanted the kids to look at and realize for a minute, because we take this for granted sometimes because this is a weekly thing for us. And you can just kind of go about your day, even at Disney, and not really, and just forget how lucky you are. So I always like to point that out to them so that they realize how lucky they really are. Even for me, like just leaving work and going to live stream, it's just what I do. Disney is very accessible to me. It's good for me to remember everybody tuning in. It's not very accessible to everybody. Right. This is a wonderful, magical thing that I am doing in this place where some people can't even believe I'm there.
Right.
Where I just go. So I like to remind myself of that as well.
Very good.
Yeah. Well, have we covered everything?
Yeah, that was fun. So speaking of being in the parks.
Now time for the final segment, in the parks. So in the parks, we began, let's see, we had 2 live streams in the parks in between both podcasts. So we were at one of my most anticipated visits to a park in last weekend. We were at Universal Studios for their Christmas, I'm going to call it a gala. How about that? Their Christmas gala. Sounds fancy. To go and watch that parade for me is something where it's a real treat, and it's beautiful because I, again, as a kid watching the Macy's parade, would never think that I would be able to see balloons in the streets.
Yeah.
That just seems something like that's not even reachable. So when we first saw that a few years ago, I just fell in love with that parade. It may not be the most magical parade, or there's probably a lot of things that you can pair it together against Disney parades, and Disney would win out on just about every category. But it's just for what it is. Even the Very Merry Christmas Party parade blows that one away. But that was just special to me because of I think it really just comes down to the balloons. And I really enjoy showing the viewers the balloons.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll tell you all, when you see those balloons come overhead of the camera, I am not zooming in on that. I can't get a wide enough angle to show the whole thing by that point. It's just that big over you. Kathy had a certain perspective too on that. When we asked her if she enjoyed the parade, she thought it was okay. I think that she is just used to the granddaddy of them all and being able to go to the New York City parades, and thought the balloons weren't as big as in New York. So, but for me, I've never had the chance to do that. So I love it, and we enjoyed that. We did think that they didn't have enough Snope for some reason. Not really a complaint, just a statement. It is nice to have more snow falling. It just didn't fall too much. Maybe it was, I don't think warmth would have anything to do with it, but you could kind of see it more in the sky, and then it just felt like it never got to us. I don't know if you all caught that on camera much at all, if you knew it was snowing, if I wasn't pointing to the sky. And so we went over to Islands of Adventure, and we enjoyed Grinchmas once again. I love watching Tammy and Jillian laugh so much watching that show. They really, really enjoy it. And of course I do. Obviously, I love the Grinch. I just love his mannerisms, and they do a really good job. Whoever plays him does an outstanding. It's perfect. You'd swear it
Yeah.
was Jim Carrey, really.
Yeah.
You know, so really enjoyable. And I think we did not take you all to dinner. So again, Universal Studios Islands of Adventure. You can't do a whole lot there for rides, but we
Yeah.
really do milk the most out of that. We did go over to Seuss Land, and we were able to do Cat in the Hat. We did the trolley ride, and we also did the castle show. The
Right.
Hogwarts Castle show, which it's short, but it's pretty. It's pretty. You get to hear that wonderful John Williams music and all that good stuff. So beautiful, beautiful day. It all went as planned, but the sequence was out of whack, but that's okay. We really did recover from starting out with a dud because we wanted to start over at Islands and see the 3:30 show, but it was actually sold out. So for all you that may be planning a trip over there to see it, and it's a midday show, make sure you're there. It depends on where you want to sit too. We prefer to sit way in the back. So to come in towards the back end of seating is fine for us. But if you have a 3:30 show, I'd probably recommend showing up maybe 45 minutes beforehand to be safe.
And what about your show? How full was that one? Because that was the last one of the day, right?
That's a great question. So that was a full show. Was it a full show because it's new in terms of the season? Because I know the final show that we went to last year.
Yeah.
Again, you know what though? Again, that could have been, I think that one was even sold out too. But what I'll say is if you do get there and it's 15, 20 minutes before, you're pretty much guaranteed to get a seat in the final show. I don't think there's many people that get turned away from that final one, is just my guess. So yeah. So moving on to last night, we were live at Magic Kingdom. It was cold. It was cold. So it wasn't as cold as I anticipated. The temperatures did suggest that I could be colder. I did take a chance and I went with a long sleeve shirt and a hoodie, and I brought my gloves as well and my knitted hat. I did put the knitted hat on a couple times. I did put it on for the people mover because there's some wind there. So I did that. And so anyone that's visiting Magic Kingdom or Disney World, I should say, in these months through maybe February, I always say travel with your shorts, travel with your summer clothes, but always have a backup pair of pants and a hoodie, long sleeve shirt, maybe a winter hat, because a couple of these days could sneak up on you. And again, because not sure about tomorrow, but in 2 days, we'll be in t-shirt and shorts and feel really good about it at 11 o'clock at night at Epcot. So great night. I think the crowd was about a 3.5 out of 5 Mickeys maybe for crowd. So I started the night out a little differently. I decided I didn't want to wrap. So I'm like, what do I want to do? So I said, well, why don't I go to Columbia Harbor House, because they have chowder and they have a fish sandwich, which I mistakenly ordered a couple weeks ago and went to the wrong restaurant. What an idiot.
I was surprised when you got there. I didn't realize that they had remodeled Cosmic Rays. That was interesting.
That's the funny thing. So last night I was trying to order Cosmic Rays food, and I went to Columbia Harbor House. No, I got it right, and I was really careful with my thumb. I'm like, make sure and I did almost hit something else. I'm like, stop, hit the right restaurant. So I did. My overall review, I think, was about a 3.5. What bumps it up to a 3.5 is the fish sandwich was about a 3.25. If I had a preference of the coating of the fish, I probably would have, not probably, I definitely like the McDonald's version of the breaded square fish, as opposed to what looks like chicken strips, but has the harder coating, the batter coating of like fish and chips. That's what knocked it down for me. The fish alone inside was very good. It was good. It didn't smell fishy. It was tasty enough. It did come with lettuce, and it did come with the tartar sauce. I could have added more, but I just went with what they added. It was a moderate amount, so most people may add a little bit more to that to top it off. But let me tell you, I gave the look. I'm a guy from New England. I know what it's like to have a great cup of chowder. And this chowder, I gave the side look. Do you know the side look yet? Jennifer L., who's not here watching live tonight, which is one of our wonderful moderators, she knows the look. She pointed it out in chat several months ago. So anybody watching, when I take a bite of something, if I go, you know I'm coming back with a 5 out of 5 Mickeys. When my head cocks to the right real quick, I'm coming back with a 5 out of 5 Mickeys. They did something. So it passed the test of drop your oyster crackers into the bowl. And if they just fall on top and don't sink, that passed the big test right there. That tells you how creamy it is. And, you know, I usually add pepper to it as well.
Mm-hmm.
It's like they added their own pepper. But what put it over the top, I'd have to ask them. It seems like they added a little butter to it. It had a buttery finish to it. And that's what made me kind of cock my head to the right quick and be like, whoa, I don't know what they did to this, but this is a 5 out of 5. And I was really surprised that it was so good as a quick service. So if you like chowder, don't walk, run over there without hesitation and get it. Was it pricey? The overall meal was about $21. I had a side of fries, a very, very good portion of shoestring fries with the fish sandwich. That was $13 and change, but the expensive piece really was the chowder. It was small, and it was about $7 and change. But I thought about it. That's probably not that far off from any standard restaurant you go to anywhere. You're not going to get a huge bowl of chowder, I think, in most places. I mean, the portion might be bigger. I mean, but I don't know. I think it was a little bit more expensive than normal, but not too far off the beaten path. So that was my trip at Columbia Harbor House. And the park really let up for ride times when Happily Ever After was over.
Mm.
And we were able to get on a bunch of rides with no wait times. And I didn't get as cold. So that's inside the parks for this week.
And you didn't get your Starbucks. Did you get any? Weren't you going to stop somewhere? And did you end up stopping somewhere and getting something?
So my strategy was this. I came right into the park, and you know what's funny? Came into the park. Okay, so I used to be in the habit of checking my phone before I leave for the parks to make sure the updates are good. And I didn't this time. So it asked for an update right when I was ready to go live. So I was 15 minutes late because I had to find a Wi-Fi spot and let it download. And then once it did, it had to go through the whole restart process with the phone. So while it did that, I went into confectionery and I loaded up on the Mickey gingerbread cookie and a couple of my my peanut butter cookie brownies or whatever they call those babies. So I did that ahead of time. So I lugged those around all night in my bag, and they were in perfect shape. And so for Starbucks, I have to start going to Starbucks before I go shopping. And Tammy's like, that's what I do. So I'm going to have to just go to Starbucks. Probably partly what I was thinking is I've been so used to going on Wednesday nights when it's extra magic hours and they're just open till 1.
Mm.
So it doesn't matter. I have to start reminding myself that there's no extra magic hours there right now. And I have to go get my Starbucks first because I really was counting on that for the ride home. So I went home with nothing. I did eat half of that Mickey ear, though, of that gingerbread cookie.
10:30 certainly did feel early last night, so seeing Starbucks close, I was like, wait, why are they closed? Oh, it's the park is closed. Yeah. So
yeah. Doesn't it makes no sense though. It really doesn't make any sense if the you think Starbucks would stay. Well, I guess if they're open, if they're closing like what 20-25 minutes after the park, they do need time to get people out by 11. Maybe that's their goal. So I guess we can't complain about that. I guess we have to respect that.
Yeah. You know, it's I always look at it from the retailer side and go, yeah, you could have made a couple extra bucks, but
Yeah,
you know, you
yeah.
gotta let
I know. That's true. That's true. That's true. And just like the Starbucks over at on Hollywood Boulevard, Hollywood Studios. I mean, that closes down when the park closes. Like, what are you doing? So many people have to exit from there. They have to have lost millions of dollars now over time.
Yeah.
By doing that. So I don't know if my chat froze, but
That's funny.
I
I was gonna ask the same thing.
I haven't seen anything move since 7:54.
Yeah.
So I think it's frozen. Yeah. Kind of weird. Kind of weird. But I think we said it all, haven't we?
Oh, there's Catherine's there. Okay, thank you.
That's really weird.
Yeah. So you want to give a preview for next week's episode?
The preview for the next week for the DIZPod is we have lots of material to cover. We're going to talk about Luminous, and we're going to have Cliff from Clifflix on, and we're going to talk about he has a new premiere coming up, which is Epcot Forever. It's the final rendition that he will release, as far as I know. And of course, it's multi-angled. It'll be in space, deep space sound. It's going to be amazing. And that premiere might even happen on Thursday night, if I understood that correctly. But we're going to talk Luminous with him. And he'll be coming off his first filming of Luminous. And so if you enjoyed Cliff on last time, Cliff's going to be back, and we're going to talk some fireworks and our final thoughts on Epcot Forever and what we think of Luminous after our first time.
Yeah, I am excited about Luminous. Like I said earlier, it's going to be a great week for Living in Diz, and to have Cliff on Thursday, that's going to be a great episode as well. So he did send us Epcot Forever so that we could preview it. Corey, did you get to watch it yet?
No, I'm going to make sure I watch it and beforehand, and so we can talk about it. I might throw it up on the 100-inch screen and enjoy it that way.
There you go. So I'm gonna play just a couple seconds for all of you folks in chat, so you can kind of get a peek at his next video here.
A teaser, if you will.
Yes. All right, that's all you got.
Wow. What did everybody know? Catherine already said it. I was going to say, what did everybody notice that was different from what you're used to seeing? It's the kites. Yeah. So he literally had filmed this over time, post-COVID and pre-COVID. Correct?
Yep. He did two shows, or he did two recordings. He did the pre-COVID version and the post-COVID version, and had to put it together. So we're going to be talking a lot about that. Can you imagine the amount of editing, not only for multiple nights, but now really two different shows he had to put together? So yeah, what he does is amazing. So we are looking forward to seeing that and talking to him.
Yeah, that's correct. Jill Walk, right? Yep, for sure. let's see, we have one. Yeah. Hey, let's blast the chat for Steve Bullock and Tony. They just dropped a Living in Diz LID membership, and it was picked up by the one and only Catherine from way back in Wardrobe.
Yeah, she's right outside that door.
Sewing as we speak. So awesome. Always appreciate all the support in any way, whether it's ninja watching, listening, anything that any of you do that can hear my voice right now. And appreciate you, Steve and Tony, so much. And yeah, it's all good.
All good. So thank you. This is episode 26. I'm asking you now.
Yes, it is. And I know this because I looked.
So 26 episodes in the books. As we said, here would be the best place to interact with us, especially if you can watch the show live and interact with chat and with us. That is great. If not, you can watch us on the rewatch on the YouTube Music app or listen to us there as well. And soon we will start posting the episodes to the other platforms as well.
Yes. Good plans. And if we set it all up and ready to go, we will jump over next week for some bonus podcasting for LID Club members and Patreons of the $5 level and up, which is the Magical Express. The Magical Express. Mm-hmm. Magical Express and up. So plan accordingly if you want to check that out as well. Yep. So another great episode, my friend. It just gets more and more fun. It gets more and more fun.
Yeah.
And so I just love doing it so much. And it wouldn't be half as much fun if I wasn't doing it with you.
Hey, this is a joy to do. Bring Disney to all the viewers and just talk Disney, and then show back up in the parks on Saturday and do it all again for another good week of Disney.
That's right. So for the DIZPod, I'm Corey.
I'm Lawrence.
And this is the DIZPod.
See you later.
Good night. It is night, right? But if you're on the rewatch, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. All right. We're out. Where is my outro? Here we go.